G'day everybody. I wanted to give you a rundown of the basic plugins that I use, the go-to plugins that you'll need. So if you don't want to go out and buy a really expensive bundle, these are the go-to ones that you need to have a fantastic system. Now the first thing I should say is RME Audio. Bob Hartman from Petra put me onto the manufacturer's website, and I've never looked back. So the Fireface UFX is my number one audio interface of choice because I don't have 30, 20,000, $30,000 budgets. Otherwise, I probably use the Mike Stassi. Now, basically, on all my vocals, I use a Renaissance Vox, and there's a group of settings you can choose. So I click on load and Pensado Good Vocal, and that's all I use for my RVox backup vocals. I don't change the settings much other than that. Sometimes I might make a compressor a little bit harder, but usually not. That's really good. And the only other thing I use on all my backup vocals is Waves Vocal Writer, and that's just does a sweet job. Those two, unbelievable. You really don't need to use anything else other than that. Now on my handheld, I use an RVox again, and sometimes I'll put a de-esser on that one, just because sometimes there's a lot of talking is done there. So it's just Waves de-esser plugin, and that's my handheld. And for my instruments, my guitars, I'll use Waves GTR because my bass player doesn't have any amps or effects or anything. He just leaves that up to me, so I just use that to select my processors that I want to use, which is just usually an amp. Hot tube amp, one of those is what I use, probably clean, direct, something like that. And other than that, basically I have on my keyboard a compressor. For that one I use a Waves CLA 3A, and that's just great. So you just set the settings on that one, that's all that needs. My acoustic guitar, I was using like a Maserati plug-in on that one, but at the moment I'm not using anything, so I'm gonna finish setting that up soon. My electric guitar, I don't use anything because again I have the same effects pedal that Bob Hartman uses for his current tours at the moment, the GTR 6, and so I don't have any plugins on my electric guitar. And the plugins I use for my front of house is basically like L3LL. There's a set of plugins around that, and it's a limiter that I use on that. Now I do have all the Waves plugins, and I'm going to start trying the Manny Marroquin series, so I'll let you know how I go with that. But otherwise that's all I use, just a vocal writer, Renaissance Vox, the L3LL max limiter, and the CLA. Compressors are phenomenal compressors. I use at the moment a Q10 for my lapel. When our speaker speaks, I'll shape their voice with that. The other thing I use on my lapel is an NS1, so that just means when they stop talking it takes the background noise out of it, so it sounds like they're just talking in a room on a studio microphone, although it's not exactly that clear, but it does a fantastic job. I love it. What else do I use on my lapel? Anyway, so I'll give you some updates on these, but basically that's all you need. So if you get those and you use RME Fireface UFX and Cubase, you'll have a phenomenal sounding system. I still haven't we have old speakers, and we played with a band that had really new speakers and subs, which I don't have yet, and ours just blew it out of the water. So you do not have to spend a lot of money on Waves plugins. The ones I mentioned are all you need to have a cracking sound system. I'll update you on the Manny Marroquin, and the other thing that's really exciting is the Waves G-EQ, which should be out any day or any week. For EQ, it's just always in the past, as an engineer, you need to be able to hear the treble frequency and pull it down. Now we'll be able to see it, hear the treble. We'll be able to see the frequency and adjust it live without even. You don't have to be able to be good at hearing frequencies or training your ear, because it's all there in front of you. So that'll be my next go-to plugin. I recommend it as a must-have when it comes out. So they're my top ones. With those plugins, you can't go wrong. Thanks, guys. See you soon.